Hello there and welcome to Lincolnshire Wolds. We had an article published in the Revolutions magazine recently about a grant that we'd obtained from the AWGB to buy some camera equipment. The reason we applied, several of our members had set up cameras in their workshops to make our hands-on night, as we call workshop nights now, more interactive, so that members could actually see some turning and see what people were doing. So we've been contacted to see how we're using OBS, and so we put this little guide together to hopefully help others that want to get upset along the same sort of path. So I'm going to switch you across to the screen that you'll see when you go to the website and you download it and you install it. You need to download OBS Studio and another little add-on called WebSocket, and then before you get into adding cameras and things like that, you need to go to settings, so top left hand corner, file, settings, and you'll be presented with this screen. Now most of the things will be populated for you. You're asked when you install OBS what you're going to use it for. So if you're just going to use it for zooming out to your club members and for recording so you can make your own little videos, which is what we're doing, most of the things will be populated for you. Just make sure the ones on audio that you've got sound in and sound out. They're the two most important ones that I've found. The rest look after themselves. So the top one, desktop audio, that's the speakers, and it should automatically select the speaker that's on your device. The second one's disabled, you don't need to. And the third one that you need to look at there is your mic. That's your audio in. Mine's a little USB lapel mic. Some lads have got headsets and all sorts of things. If it's not there, use the drop down menu and go and find it. So you could pick up whatever. If you're using one of your webcams, make sure you're using the one that's nearest to you, so that you get the best audio. But this one works for me. If I've got my helmet on, I can pop the mic just underneath it, and the audio is quite good. So once you're happy with all that, just as I say, disregard the rest, click OK, and you're ready now to go and add a camera. Three boxes we look at then. So we've got scenes, sources, and your audio mixer. So I've turned off the desktop audio. I don't want anything pinging. If I get an email or something, I don't want it pinging in and telling me I've got an email. So just click the little speaker, turn it red, and my microphone, as you see as I'm speaking, it goes up and down, and you can control that as well. So you want the scene. So the first scene will perhaps be your camera, and you'll go to add a source, and the source will be a video capture device, and that will be camera, and click OK. And we've got none set already, so we go into video capture device and click OK, and it will give you a choice of different cameras then. And I don't want that one, I want that one, I want that one a bit later. So if I click this one, HD camera, and up that pops, and that looks good. That looks like probably my tailstock camera, and I click OK. And I want to crop that now, much as I would a digital photograph. So if you take your mouse up to the left hand corner and drag it down to a manageable size, and then we don't want all that on the right hand side, you don't want all the gubbins. That's my actually that's my control for Touch Portal, which we'll deal with that on perhaps on another little tutorial. So drag that in and down, and when you get very near it, it'll actually snap in. So the green lines, you can see that's you've moved those. The other ones were set, and you can click lock it off. And what I suggest you do is you go and rename it. So we're going to call that one tail, and enter. And also I suggest that you go across to sources and you rename that as well. Don't rename it exactly the same thing, because it'll ping at you and it'll say I don't like that. So I'm going to call that one tail cam. Enter. It'll become apparent later why we do that. So that's your camera in. That's as easy as that. And presumably you're going to have two. So let's add another. OK, and go down, and we go video capture device, and we don't want to use the tail cam, so we know what that one is, and we go to create new, and we go OK. And actually I know this one's my overhead camera, and it's probably a good time to mention this one. So my camera doesn't like the default resolution, so if I go to custom, so there, and then click, and I know that mine likes that resolution, and it pops in, and I now drag that in, and that's my overhead camera, and I'm going to drag it so that locks off at that point for now. And if I take it across, I don't want this bit, you don't want to see all the gubbins behind, that's my computer and all sorts of rubbish down the back there, so I crop all of that out, and let's crop a little bit of me out, and a little bit of that side out, and very nearly snapped in, and yeah, that one more there, and that's in. Now that's actually, for me, that's the wrong way round, and if I was showing this, I would like to see it the other way round, because that's now shown on the right hand side. So if you right mouse in the image and go to transform and track down to flip horizontal, that then flips the screen so that looks more realistic, as though you are now standing behind the lathe, and that's the image that then you'll present. And once you're happy with that, you click OK, and now we go and rename it. So right mouse, rename, and we call this one over. Not very inventive on names, but it's suffice. And rename the camera, so let's call that over cam, become apparent Y, and it's as simple as that. So let's assume you've only got two cameras, and you want to add a picture in picture, so we show how you can use the two cameras already and get some more use out of those. So let's go to add, and we'll add another scene, and we'll name it in a minute, but we'll click, and this time we won't add a video capture device, we'll add a scene that we've already got. So we'll add the tailstock scene, and we'll click OK, and looks like we're happy with that as it is, so we lock it off. And now we'll go and add another scene, and there, and this time we'll add the overview, and click OK, and we get that side. And now what we do is we crop that in, yeah, I don't quite need all that, so if I use my Alt key again and crop it into there and crop it into there, and we don't need quite so much the back there because we're not quite very big on it, and put that up there, and where you're going to put it, lock it in the corner, and it'll actually snap into the corner of the picture, and probably there's fine. And once you're satisfied with that, then lock it off. So now, just out of your two cameras, don't forget to rename it, so we go rename, let's call it picture in picture, PIP, so you know exactly what it is. And now you've got three views, so you've got your tailstock view, got your overhead view, and you've got your picture in picture. Several other things you can do if you want to do. Let's suppose in that you wanted to zoom in on there. My tailstock view is actually on a movable arm, so I can move that in and out. I can physically move that in and out. But if you choose to have it there, and you want to zoom it in digitally, then let's go to add scene, OK, sources, go back to sources and add again your scene, your tailstock view, OK. And this time, if you remember how we cropped it in digitally, if we crop it in again, so, and lock it in a corner and zoom in, we can zoom in a little bit more until we get to a satisfactory point there, and it's snapped in, and lock it off. And if we now call that one, let's rename it as tail zoom, and I quite like to move that one up. So we've got sorry, I went too far. So now we've got a tailstock view, and somebody says, oh, can I see a bit better view of that, you can go, oh yeah, that's okay, I'll just zoom in for you. And then you've got the overhead view and your picture in picture. So just out of your 2 cameras, you've got 4 views there altogether. So quite economical. So I hope that's been useful. Get in your workshops, get your cameras set up, get using OBS, and if you need any more help, then you know where we are. We're on the website, you've got some contacts for the club. We're also on Instagram and we're on Facebook. So lincolnshirewoldeswoodturning.co.uk, I think that's the website. It's on the top of the banner anyway, and any questions then come back to us. Thanks a lot, thanks for watching, and bye for now.